It's time to tell you the secret of the butt touch.
Let's talk about that. Good mythical morning.
All right, we have a friend of a friend.
Which means we're hedging and trying to distance ourselves from the concept that we are presenting to you today.
When we heard about this, we thought this is something that we need to bring to the people. We need to bring to the mythical beasts. We need to talk about this as a group, collectively. And here it is. It's called the butt touch. And it is a...
Have you heard of this?
Well, I've heard of
Question mark?
touching butts.
Did the friend of the friend invent this? Potentially.
This is, first of all, this is a girl. The friend, that's our friend, is a guy, but his friend of a friend is a girl. And she said that she has developed a technique for getting through a crowd. You experience this all the time. You're at a party, you're in some crowded lobby, and you're like, I gotta get to the other side.
A concert
and
site.
I've gotta break through all these people.
Mm-hmm.
She has come up with this technique called the butt touch. And she says that if you lightly tap someone's rear end with the back of your hand.
With the back of your hand.
A little butt tap, it could be called a butt tap. But that would be confused with the butt tap that you do in like the NBA when somebody makes a good play. You know what I'm saying?
That's not, they don't use the verb tap, I don't think, for
I
that.
think it's called a butt pat.
Yeah, you don't use the word tap.
Sorry.
Should have nothing to do with
So
any of this.
It's just a little backhand, the butt backhand. The butt touch. Apparently people, she says, without even thinking about it, will move out of the way. And so our friend heard about this, and then he said, I tried it at a party, and it totally worked. The question is this a valid thing? Should we begin trying it? Should we tell the world about it?
Well, first of all, the fact that they're putting forward that if you touch someone's butt lightly with the back of your hand, it sends a subliminal message for them to move to their brain, is still a little questionable.
You're questioning that? I have no question about that. When somebody touches my butt in a crowd, I move. You instinctively you move a little bit.
I remember when
But you also look and see who touched your butt.
Remember when we were with the elephants at the Central Florida Zoo, and
I do.
The elephant trainers had a little stick, and they wouldn't beat the elephants with it. They would just gently tap the elephant
On the butt.
on the leg or the thigh, or whatever they wanted to move. They would just give them a little tap, and it would steer the whole elephant.
That's an elephant, though. That's not. It's kind of different. We're talking about humans at a party. We're not talking about elephants at the zoo.
Well, big people in a group. If you want to move a big person, all it takes is just a little butt touch.
Now, personally, I'm very interested in this because this is a big problem for me. Getting through crowds is a big problem. And very often when I'm in a place where there's a crowd, whether it's a party or the lobby of some conference or something like that, you know who's there with me?
Me's.
This guy. And what I have noticed time and time again is that when we start out side by side, going into a situation like this, 9 times out of 10, about 2 minutes later, you're on the other side of the room and I'm stuck in the middle.
Well, I've been using the butt touch. I just haven't told you. I've been touching butts.
I'm sure that you haven't been touching the butt.
I'm like a snowplow of butt touching.
But I want to know because I feel like I need a technique. And first of all, I feel like here's my theory. My theory is I'm bigger, so it's more difficult for me to get through. And I also feel like not only am I bigger, I'm taller.
Well, you are taller.
And I feel like I always feel kind of like I'm intimidating people, or people might be scared of me when I come through. And so I feel I'm timid. I want to offset my largeness with some timidity. Does that make sense?
And that's valid. For me, I've been using a technique called the hand plow. And my arm, if I want to go this way and there's a crowd of people, I will just extend the arm like this and then just follow it. And sometimes I won't do this. I don't have to do this, but I'll do this, and then all of a sudden I can go all the way through I can just snake through. It's like it's a wedge.
What about this?
My hand, you don't even need that. And then I get through. But my thing is, I'm not afraid to touch strangers if I want to be somewhere. I do think that's the difference between the two of us. So based on that,
one of the differences.
I think I'm open.
I'm not afraid to touch strangers if I gotta be somewhere.
Yeah.
That's good.
So I think I am open to the butt touch. I don't know if I need it because I'll just go up to a stranger and be like this and be like, excuse me. I will say excuse me if they make eye contact.
I think you're much more comfortable with conflict and like It's just like the other day when we were at the lake with the families and the kids, and the lifeguard comes up and he's upset that Shepard looks like he's swimming in a place he's not supposed to be swimming, as opposed to just saying, okay, thanks for letting us know. You're like, what? Like that's the first thing you say to the lifeguard. It's like, what? It's like, and I'm like, why do you want to have a conflict right now? I mean, you know,
I didn't like his tone.
We'll talk about that at a different time.
Your kid's gonna drown. He could have been nicer about it.
You're trying to save my kid's life? What?
But, and no pun intended, for the butt touch, I mean, obviously, we're talking about touching butts here, so, I mean, it's not like just touching the side of a shoulder or something like that. So I think this has to be a sensitive issue. Is it different for guys than girls? Can girls get away with the butt touch technique, but guys can't? The girl originated it. She gave it to our guy friend. He said he did it, you know.
He was touching girls' butts.
Now, I'm not comfortable touching girls' butts, even with the back of my hand. I don't think that's appropriate.
I don't think.
For me, as a committed married man.
I don't think that, I mean, if you take the average person's butt, I'm so much higher than that. I would have to come down. I would be like coming through the crowd like this. And they'd be like, who's that guy in the triple threat position going through the crowd, you know, to get down to the butts? I think I'm disqualified from the beginning just because of my stature.
You could have a back scratcher that extends the reach of your arm, and you can be touching butts with the back scratcher.
Then you're the guy at the party with the back scratcher. There's always a negative.
I think girls can get away with the butt touch. Is this sexist? I don't know. Let us know what you think about butt touch. You know, contribute to the conversation in the comments. But do you agree that girls can get away with it more than guys because it's, I don't know, is that sexist? I just think it's more innocuous.
Well,
when a guy touches a girl's butt, there's always some undertone of, I just touched a girl's butt. And I just did it so I can get past her.
Well,
but also,
first of all, no doubt, yes, it is sexist, but is it also true? Yes. It is more acceptable for whatever cultural reasons. I'm not going to get into that. It is more acceptable for a girl to do the backhand on a guy than it is for the guy to do a backhand on a girl. That's just a fact. Is that going to change? I don't know. But currently, as it stands,
that's the double standard working in favor of the female species.
But see, I think, why can't it just be lower back? Because sometimes, first of all, that's where my reach naturally goes. And sometimes I do take somebody and I do move them out of the way. And, you know, some people might think, well, that's sort of like a come on or something to do the lower.
Even if it's a girl, I think, and you're a guy, which I think you are, I think it's still inappropriate because it's.
Where do you touch them? When you come with the hand plow, where on the body are you?
Like right up. I'm up here.
You're not in the front. You don't go on the front because that would be inappropriate too.
I always go for the back.
You go for the back.
I go for the back. Yeah.
And do you try to not see? I'm thinking about people having conversations. It's like I see people having a conversation. I'm like, well, I can't go through there. There's an invisible conversation wall that I can't break. Do you think about that? See, that's probably what it is. You don't even think about that. You break the conversation wall.
Well, I think this conversation, there's lots to still think about here. I don't think we're reaching any conclusion. Maybe you in the comments can give a definitive resolution to the technique of the butt touch.
Have you tried the butt touch? If so, let us know. Do you think the butt touch is appropriate? If so, or inappropriate, let us know. And what is your technique if you don't want to do the butt touch?
You know what time it is.
I'm Nate.
And I'm Joy, his sister.
We're from Pensacola, Florida.
It's time
to spin the wheel of mythicality.
Okay, now that YouTube is not accepting video responses, the way that you're going to get us your wheel suggestions and your wheel ending videos is by hashtagging GMM wheel and sending that to us through Google+, Facebook, Twitter, the places that you know that we're at, and we will find those and we will use those.
Yeah, here we go.
And we want to announce the all-new pink mythical shoe. A portion of these are going to go to, the portion of the proceeds are going to help fight breast cancer. There's only 500 pairs of these, limited edition. So check those out. Link in the description. You get those at Tweak Footwear.
And RhettandLink.com/store.
If you like pink. Like, I know you like pink, so I know you're going to be wearing a pair.
Got inserts. I fight for. You can put the name of a person who's a breast cancer survivor or someone else in there.
Rhett runs away.
I would like to know where you're going, because if it's cool, then I might be interested in going too. If some guy grabbed your wife's butt.
You're like, what are you thinking? I would be like, hey, come with me.
but then you have to take him somewhere.
Yeah,
right?
then you take him into the hallway and then you punch him.